Hello world, we are back. Mary and Belinda hosting the Daily News Africa. And this is what happened this past week.
Yes, we kick it off with news coming out of the motherland, Africa, where the WHO has declared the continent polio-free. After years of grappling with the disease, no more polio.
The announcement has come too late for tens of thousands of polio victims here. With paralyzed limbs, life gets harder in a country where little attention is paid to the needs of the disabled. But for parents of future generations, a major source of worry is lifted. Campaigners say success was delayed because vaccination was stopped for years in many parts of northern Nigeria. Some parents said the oral polio vaccine was a birth control scheme. Boko Haram attacks are another major obstacle for the immunization campaign.
The challenges was inaccessibility. The challenges were how you deliver vaccine in hard to reach areas. The challenges that how you gain the trust those who need the vaccine.
Global intervention, especially by UNICEF and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, was critical in achieving success when immunization was restarted. Officials want to take their experience in fighting polio further by using similar resources in defeating the Ebola virus 6 years ago. The World Health Organization praised Nigeria's success as a victory for Africa, but warned that regular vaccinations and increased vigilance are required to defeat polio once and for all. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Abuja.
This is such a huge relief, talking about the time of year we've had, it's just been a bad year. So hearing such good news is such a relief. And it's just important and encouraging for us to note that there'll be a whole other generation that does not know anything about polio.
Yeah, you said it, Mary. Yeah. We're going to take any wins that we can get out of the year 2020. This is definitely a win. Just maybe people need to remember that being declared about the continent does not mean, okay, now forget about vaccinations.
Exactly.
Because that is still going to be an important part of keeping polio out of the continent.
Exactly. And it's for all of your parents who have kids. So it's just something that we need to look at. And moving on to the United States. In Houston, Texas, evictions are going on because a number of tenants have lost their jobs and are unable to pay rent.
Need to come to the door.
From one Houston home to the next.
Hello, Constable.
Deputy Benny Gant with the Harris County Constable's Office executes judge's orders to evict.
Hello, Constable.
We ain't got nowhere to go.
Israel Rodriguez is the tenant at this apartment, but he's not alone. 20-month-old Israel, his brother, 4-year-old Fabian, and their mother are some of the estimated 40 million Americans facing eviction in the downward spiral of the COVID economy.
They didn't rush us, but they were like, get everything you need.
Rodriguez admits he hasn't been paying rent, behind thousands of dollars.
It's my fault in the eviction. It was a lot going on during the corona. When it hit, I lost my job. So it took me like a month to get another job. This is my check, but I ain't making it with $300. It's literally $300.
Their stroller now carries their possessions.
It's mainly the kids' clothes because me and her just wear the same clothes almost every day.
That's clear.
Deputy Gant, an officer for 35 years, is just starting his day. 8 evictions are on his list.
A co-defendant is here, 2 of them.
At each stop, people behind on rent are ordered to leave. Possessions pulled out.
Where are you guys gonna go now?
We gotta go to a hotel.
You can go to a hotel.
As Deputy Gant works through his list, we get word that 200 eviction orders have come through the Harris County courts for this week. That's double what they normally saw for an entire month before COVID. It is a backlog, but it's also just one precinct in one of America's hardest hit cities in evictions. The job takes its toll.
I don't really want to put her out here, but I have to, under this judge's order.
At this apartment, the tenant is an elderly woman who can no longer afford the rent. The landlord's mover, Francisco Munoz, works, though he doesn't want to.
I have a family, I have a sister, I have my mom, and we never know. Maybe today is her, tomorrow's me,
Midway through the eviction, Deputy Gant decides it's too dangerous to evict her in the Houston summer heat.
I'm not going to put her out here in this heat.
And will call social services instead.
You're going to stay today, but tomorrow you're leaving.
A one-day reprieve with an uncertain tomorrow.
You have a situation where people aren't working, they don't have the money, and they're desperate.
Wow, Mary, that's very heartbreaking.
Very sad.
In addition to everyone around the world dealing with a pandemic, these poor people have an additional layer, just to sort of compound the issues that they're dealing with. I mean, think about the people being evicted, the families.
Exactly. It's just so sad. And, in this trying time, we're dealing with, the whole, we have to social distance. But now when you put people on the streets, then it just doesn't make sense. We're all just struggling. Putting people out on the streets just kind of makes it worse.
Yes, it absolutely does. But, like you say, it makes it worse. So I guess if you do have a choice between evicting or not evicting, or doing good and not doing good, choose good people.
Yeah, but again, just on the flip side, Belinda, the people who are evicting also have bosses and people they report to.
Absolutely.
And this is part of their work. The same way you guys are trying to survive is the same way these guys have a job to do. And even the guy who's carrying the stuff out, it's heartbreaking. So it's just hard. So we can't per se blame any party, but we just need to be a bit more considerate during this time.
Yes, be more human.
Yes.
Yes, and our final story today will restore your faith in humanity.
Yeah.
A cafe in Uganda, Endiro Coffee, opened up a sign language cafe.
Somewhere along a plot 36 Nakasero Road is this Endiro Coffee Sign Language Cafe, which is the first of its kind in Kampala. Operational for just a fortnight, this coffee shop is special because it's entirely under management of people with hearing impairment.
The Sign Language Cafe opened just recently, about 2 weeks ago, with the objective of being inclusive. We wanted to have inclusive appointment, including persons with disabilities into the business. Yeah, we wanted inclusion. That's why the deaf people are employed here in this branch of Endiro.
Nasa Senyondo, a social worker and master's holder and also father to 3, is the manager of the establishment.
So I come from Masaka. I got deaf at the age of 10. I was born hearing. So I studied up to a master's level about 10 years ago. That's when I graduated with my master's. So I have experience in NGO management. For about 10 years I've been working in the NGO world. I also managed a drama team for 5 years. Before, I was an actor before.
How then does a man so educated and experienced in the field of social works end up in managing a coffee shop?
So I decided to choose a coffee business because growing up, I grew up in a family where we were farming. We had coffee plantations. And I really love coffee ever since I was young. I loved the smell of coffee. Yeah, I've always loved coffee.
For a business this young, NASA tells us they are ready to attract enough clients with optimism that when the COVID-19 pandemic is over, they will flourish. They employ 4 people, all of whom have hearing impairment, but are so proud of what they have attained in life.
The first of its kind in Uganda. Yes. These moments make me so proud, you know, of our countrymen who are coming up with these sort of initiatives. It means it literally goes to validate the statement that disability is not inability. And it literally means these guys can go ahead and provide with their families, even though they cannot hear, which is It's just incredible.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. And on another note, it's our chance to learn sign language now, Mary.
Right?
Yeah, I know. We'll be ordering our espressos over the counter at
Right?
Indira.
What's an espresso in sign language?
I have no idea. We'll find out. It's our chance to learn.
Yeah. That's it for this week, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
Yes, remember to wash your hands, sanitize your hands, wear your mask, people, and take care of yourselves. Till next week.